super excited, first of all, because this is my first ever talk here, and I'm happy to do it with you guys. So my name is Mehad. I'm a software engineer at Flipdish, and today I'll be talking about how we're planning to build 5,000 apps with React Native. And today joining me is Flippy. He's our brand mascot. He'll be coming out in a few slides, and you'll see him more. Let's begin. So Mo gave a beautiful introduction into Flipdish, but I'd just like to give a bit more, I guess, and just go over what he said. Basically, we're building platforms or digital platforms for hospitality businesses to empower their online ordering and to give them this growth and a chance to just provide efficiency into their businesses. And we do that with like a variety of different products like point of sales, kiosk, websites, and apps. We also give them marketing and management tools as well. So that's what we do. And before we move on to the other stuff, can I just get a quick show of hands here? Who here has built one app, but we're able to like ship it to different clients? Cool, nice. So many people. Who's done that to 10 different clients? So one app for 10 clients. Keep your hands up if you've done that to 100 different clients. Nice. Anyone done it for 1,000? No. Well, we did, and we did more than that. We did it for 5,000 different clients. And as you can see from Flippy here, we feel quite happy and proud of the fact that we were able to achieve this. So how we were able to do this, so kind of the process, so Mo mentioned that we build white label apps. So the idea is that you have a core set of app, like the shell of the app built on certain features, and then you give the kind of the branding or the styling control in runtime or build time for each brand. And that's so the process for us before React Native was with native apps, right? Just like everyone else, I believe. So we had one app for Android and iOS with each team managing each platform. We had two code bases. We also had multiple pipelines and cron jobs in place to help us automate wherever possible. But mind you, those pipelines were getting out of hand and very complex, and only fewer people knew how to deal with them or understand them. We also had observability and monitoring into the apps, but it was quite basic. And majority of the time when we ran into issues or when we found bugs, it wasn't due because of our monitoring or observability tools. It was because we were getting tickets from support around issues. Um, s- Another thing I'd like to point out here was that with our pipelines and a process with native apps, we were essentially building apps for each platform for each white label. So you can imagine with 5,000, of white labels, building for each platform would take ages to do so. Kind of a rough figure is for each platform, I think around 10 minutes, the pipelines used to run to build the app. And we also had release pipelines that were just be able to do the same process for each platform. Um, so things were starting to cause problems, right? As we started to grow more clients, and this is how we felt as a team. We felt chaotic, and we found out, and many times we ran into this issue where we kept putting out these little fires that kept popping out every now and then, and it was starting to cause us problems. For us, one of the biggest problem that we faced with the native apps, the process, was this thing of duplicated efforts, right? Majority of you people know this. With native apps, you have isolated teams, like two teams and two code bases. So you can imagine, maybe for you guys, it's not really a big issue, if you're building native apps, right? So you can have two teams. But for us, when we were building features for, say, 5,000 apps or clients, for us, time and effort mattered. And we needed to make sure that we were able to build as quickly as possible. So with the native app, it has a huge impact on our shipping velocity, where it started to take us longer and longer to ship features because we were building more and more features and having more and more clients. And it all contributed to us difficult to try to climb that scaling wall. And that scaling wall for us was just having more and more clients. So we knew with that process, we couldn't go and just get 10,000 clients or 15,000 clients, and we needed to think about our stuff and address those issues. Moving to the solution. So for us, when we kind of started looking into solutions, one of the biggest thing that came to us was React Native, right? That thing of just building it once and shipping anytime you want. Um, and ever since shifted to React Native, we were able to totally redesign our process or our approach of building apps at Flipdish. We now had unified teams and unified code bases, and we knew that everything was being done once. So like your features were being building once, you were fixing the bugs once. And so we went from doing 2x in efforts to just 1x with React Native. And of course, this had a huge impact on our shipping velocity, where now, with the core team of just 2 to 3 engineers, we're focused solely on building stuff and not chasing feature parity. And this all contributed towards us shipping stuff in weeks and not months. And so let's revisit this because this is important for us because we want to increase our number of clients, but we knew that with our current processes and pipelines, this wasn't possible. And with React Native, we got a chance to improve that. And now with React Native, our current setup, we can just only have to build it once and we can ship it as many times as we want. And all this is due to the fact code push. It was actually one of the key factors for us why we moved to React Native in the first place. Um, and as I mentioned, it took us months to ship anything. With this in place, it only took us weeks. So this is just kind of quick overview of like how our pipelines are designed now with React Native. So every everything you merge into master, it basically checks if there's native change. If there's no, we create a code push build, and we also create a native build for each platform. And then we go ahead and upload those builds to NS3 bucket. So then when it comes to doing the release part, we can just look at it and we can just get the latest native artifacts we have on the S3, and we can build it whatever the kind of the latest JavaScript or React Native side of things, and we can bundle them together and ship them. With all this now in place, this new process, we started to gain momentum towards climbing that scaling wall, right? To getting more and more clients. We finally saw an opportunity where we thought that we could grow, and we think as well. Um, so now we were able to improve our process of working. We completely redesigned of how we approach building apps at Flipdish. We can now push updates rapidly at scale. And we also have now an overview and insight into the apps through tools like Datadog and Amplitude. And this is how Flippy feels now, from being sad and confused to happy and relaxed. And so is the team, to be honest. With this, everything seemed perfect, but however, we ran into some challenges. And one of the key challenges that we had was that even though shifting to React Native means writing majorly in JavaScript or TypeScript, but we still had to rely on the teams to write native code. Now, because it's only a lightning round, so I'm not going to go into detail into one of the examples, but I'd love to share with you guys how we're able to achieve some functionality, even though we had the core app built in React Native, but we still had some cool features that we had to use the native apps for. So I'd love to chat to you guys about it after the talk. So moving towards the end, so with all this journey took us probably a year or year and a half now, and it's still ongoing. We learned some valuable lessons as a team at Flipdish, and so I'd like to share some of those with you guys. For us, one of the biggest was in investing in infrastructure. So our biggest investment was having code push, right? It's deprecated, so we were able to get it up and running on our own server, which was a huge plus for us because it allowed us as a mobile apps team to just push updates at rapid scale. So kind of a thing for you guys is just to go back when you after this talk or after this conference to just go and look at your infrastructure and see where you can improve. It could be just a tiny thing in your pipeline or in your builds, right? Just make sure that you do and check and kind of prioritize that because it might not help you now, but in the long run it would. And I'd just like to give a shout out to the platform team at Flipdish because they did a massive job at getting the code push running up on server, which was a massive job. Second lesson that we learned, was that we invested in observability and monitoring from day one. We knew that we needed to have insights into the app and that we needed to be sure what's happening in our app in terms of functionality and behavior. So we integrated tools like Amplitude and Datadog from day one because we knew they were just not nice to have, they were a requirement for us. The last lesson I guess I would like to share is balancing speed and stability into the apps. So yes, moving into React Native gave us the chance to fast forward that flow of working. So we were not duplicating stuff, but it caused us to rush into stuff, I think, where we were shipping stuff that had a negative impact on the app stability. So over time, we were able to look into it and we were able to learn that we need to value our user experience. And so what we do now is that we only ship feature when it's stable to do so and that it doesn't have a negative impact on our user experience or users using our app. Um, that's pretty much it, I think. It's a quick one, I guess, and I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for listening. And yeah, get in touch with me if you can.